everybody, it's your girl Chanté back with another episode chatting with Chanté. How in the world are y'all doing? Me, I am doing fabulous. So as y'all can see from the title, and as y'all can probably see from this tall stack of books here, I'm going to be giving y'all a peek into my book collection, but I'm specifically focusing on one author. So if you watch my other book talk videos, if you follow me on TikTok and stuff like that, that's where I do a lot of book talk as well, you will know that this one author comes up quite often when it comes to my favorite writers and my favorite genre and stuff like that. So I know there's people who want to get into her writing and her books and maybe not know where to start or things like that. So I am here to give you a little peek into the collection that I have. And yes, we are talking about Zane. If you know, you know. Zane does not play around when it comes to giving you a good old vivid image of what she's talking about. There's no beating around the bush. You ain't got to second guess what's going on in these pages. She lets it be known, okay? So like I said in my other videos, I started reading Zane when I was 18, my freshman year of college. And listen, I'm 26, so 8 years of, accumulating Zane books and reading them and stuff like that. It's been quite the journey, all right? So if you're interested, if you love Zane, you want to, get more recommendations, or if you are like some of my other followers who hear me talk about Zane often but may not know which book to start with or anything like that, then keep on watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when I drop a video. Grab your snakes. Don't grab your snakes, y'all. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and prop your feet up, and let's get it. Let's go. So these books right here, child, the Sisters of APF. So this is the actual, book, and this is like a quick read. So the Sisters of APF, quick synopsis. You got the small town country girl, Mary Ann, who hasn't been exposed to a lot in life, especially when it comes to sex and love and dating and stuff like that. So she gets to Washington, D.C. for college. There she meets her RA, Patricia. Patricia is a part of APF, and she feels that because, Mary Ann is so timid and shy and reserved, she knows there's this underlying freak inside of her, and she can't wait for it to, be exposed. So she invites Mary Ann to join her organization. And we just get to read Mary Ann's journey, coming out of her shell in a way that she never even, imagined. So basically, APF is a secret sex sorority. So I'm gonna let y'all figure out what APF stands for. I probably said it in the other videos, but I kind of want to be a little bit mischievous right here. So yeah, APF, just know it's a secret sex sorority, and they treat it as a real sorority, like line names, well, they're not strolling at the parties. I don't know what kind of stroll that would be, but they have like their businesses and their conferences and stuff like that, but with a different twist, okay? So the Sisters of APF, child, really good read. And listen, reading this as a freshman in college, it had me looking around at everybody like, all right, okay? So then this here is Headbangers. This is like an APF sexcapade, that's what it's called. So here we go. And so basically, like I said, this is the main book, and then this just takes two new characters or two members that are in this organization, and we get to read about their drama and stuff like that. So this is about twins, Hope and Faith, and they're like super, super close, like they love each other, they're like best friends. And basically this new guy comes on campus, and it's like a cliche, like twins falling for the same guy, but with a whole different twist as well. There's a plot twist, drama, so it's really good. As you can see, it's very, very thin, good for like a plane ride, train ride, a car ride, stuff like that. So you don't have to read this one necessarily to understand it, because it still gives you background about the organization, but this is the actual book that it stems from if you want to read it. So these two, really good. And then we have the Hot Box. Okay, so basically you got two women, all right, who are done being played with, so they gather up two men each, and it's like two different love triangles, okay? They're playing the game just like men be playing the game, okay? So listen, a lot of Zane's books is about women who is tired of these men, okay? So I love it. Really, really good book. I feel like I have to reread it though, because I feel like this is one of the books I only read once or twice maybe, and I like to read books quite a few times. Now let's get into my favorite. This might be my favorite Zane book. It might be, I don't know. But this one here is Skyscraper. I really wish this was a movie. I know there's movies that are kind of like this, but I just wish this particular storyline with these characters was a movie. So basically, Skyscraper is a story that follows multiple characters. So it's not just one main character, and they all work in this one office building. So you have like the CEO and his wife, you have the secretaries, you have like the mail people. You know, you have people who usually wouldn't cross paths on a regular basis. But since, you know, there's a whole bunch of creeping around, sneaking around, sex and secrets, their, you know, lives are starting to cross and they're intermingled now because of all the drama that's taking place at, you know, the job. So I love this because Christmas time is like my favorite time of the year. Like, we're getting into my favorite season, the holiday season. And so this takes place leading up into the annual Christmas party at the office. So each chapter is a different day leading up to the party. And we're just getting a peek at all these people's lives. Again, I love these types of stories in movies and books. You know, you have characters from different walks of life, or they may be at the same place, like the job or stuff like that, but they usually wouldn't cross paths for any other given reason. But because this person's sneaking around with this person and this person knows that person, they're all getting connected, you know, through a web of lies and drama, child. So really good book. I mean, and I think just because it takes place during the Christmas time, it just makes it feel like in the Christmas spirit. Weird considering all the drama that goes on, but still. So this is a really good book. If you want to get into Zane, I would highly suggest starting with this one. And then I love this one too. Oh my goodness. So I'm acting like I don't know what books these are. But this one here is Total Eclipse of the Heart. And this is a book about an interracial couple. Well, they don't start off as a couple, but they end up being a couple. That's not a spoiler, it's right here. But anyway, so you have, you know, Brooke. And I don't think in the book, Zane mentions that she's a white woman. But I mean, if you look at she white. But basically you have Brooke, and she's a waitress, and she's from a, you know, a certain part of town, doesn't really come from money and stuff like that. And she's in love with Patrick. He's like this prestigious, powerful attorney. He comes from money and stuff like that. So they're from completely different ends of the totem pole, right? And so that causes conflict in their relationship. And then on the flip side, we have Damon. I think it's Damon. Yeah, Damon. He, you know, is in love with his wife. I mean, he cherishes the ground she walks on, and she takes that for granted, you know, like it's to be expected, you know what I'm saying? And she doesn't really realize what she has. So something happens to where Damon and Brooke meet, and we get to see, you know, how they're both feeling neglected and unappreciated in their own relationships, and how the things that they've been searching for with their current partners, they're finding with each other. So, and then all the underlying drama, you know, surrounding an interracial couple and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But this is a really good book here. It's really a, you don't know what you got till it's gone type of situation, and the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Yeah. Oh, baby, this is my book. This is my book right here, y'all. See, I didn't know the order of which I had the books. I just grabbed the stack. Y'all, this book right here is my book, okay? Nervous is my book, okay? This needs to be a movie. Even though one of my all-time favorite Halle Berry movies is basically like this, you know, premise of this book, I still need this character to come to life on the movie screen, okay? I don't care how many years it's been. So this is dealing with multiple personality disorder, right? So we have our main character, Jonquinette, and she's like Marianne in the first book, very timid, very reserved, not really experienced with men and sex and stuff like that, right? So she has this alter ego named Jude. Jude comes to life, and she's at the bar. She picks, you know, she's the one that'll pick up random dudes and have sex with them right there in the car, in the alleyway, wherever. Okay, she don't mind. She's very promiscuous. You know, Jonquinette, she dresses very conservatively. She covers herself up. Jude, she's wearing, you know, the crop top. She's showing everything with the mini skirts and the tight clothes. So she has her little excursions, you know, when she's Jude. But then when she comes back to herself, you know, she's waking up. She doesn't know how she got in these clothes. She's sore. She don't know where these hickeys came from. You know, she has no recollection of what happened the night before. So she seeks counseling, and basically this is us getting to know about her upbringing, her childhood, things that may have happened to her that, you know, caused this triggering mental disorder for her, right? And so of course there's, you know, revelations and plot twists and like, oh my goodness, a shocking twist and things like that. Now I will say, if you are someone who's into it, because I was studying psychology, I minored in psychology in college. And listen, when we got to like the split personalities, multiple personality disorder and stuff like that, I love it because I love the, you know, learning about how people operate and how we are the way we are and stuff like that. So this was right up my alley. But I would say if you want to see a movie that's kind of very similar to this, if you haven't seen Halle Berry's movie Frankie and Alice, such a good movie. I love that movie, and I watched that movie for the first time right when I began minoring in psychology, so I was just all in, right? But basically, you know, Halle Berry is, you know, her regular self. Well, I don't know the proper term, but you know, she's like herself, and then she has her alter egos, and we learn more about her story and stuff like that, and coming to find out why she is the way she is, right? So such a good story and really, really good. I would love to see, you know, this become a movie as well. Zane has a lot of screen-worthy writing, you know. So next up we have The Heat Seekers. Love, love, love. So this is a tale of two best friends, okay? So we have Tempest, again, very conservative. She's like a professional career woman. She's not really into the club scene and stuff like that. She's willing to settle down and be with the right man. Then she has her best friend, Janessa, who is like the wild child, the free spirit. We here for a good time, not a long time. She loves the club. So she, you know, gets Tempest to come out to the club one night. And there they both meet, you know, two men. Well, they both meet a man. So Tempest, she meets Garen, all right? And he is, you know, really taken by her because he notices that she's not like the other women that are in the club. She's not dressed all skimpy. She's not, he can tell that she's not really into this whole scene. He can tell she's very mature and wants to settle down, and that's what he wants as well. So they start to get to know each other, and then Janessa meets, is it Devontae? Is it Devontae? Come on now. Yes, Devontae. And they, so Janessa and Devontae are like the same two people, right? Party animals, club scene. They not really ready to commit and stuff like that. So it kind of reminds me of Poetic Justice, and I'll tell you why. You know, in Poetic Justice, how, you know, we basically had two couples, you know. So we had Aisha and Chicago, and in the beginning of the movie, they seemed like such a good couple. You know what I'm saying? Like they were really taken by each other. They were giggling and all lovey-dovey and stuff like that. And then we had Lucky and Justice, who couldn't stand each other for the first half of the movie, right? But as the movie went on, those roles kind of started to, you know, switch. So the couple that started off strong, they didn't last. And then the two that weren't a couple, they couldn't stand being with each other or being around each other, they ended up being together and stuff like that. So those roles kind of switched. That's kind of what happens in this book. I'm not going to say which couple fits which description, but it kind of puts me in the mind frame of that. So it's a really good tale and a good peek at both relationships and getting to know each other and letting your guard down and stuff like that. And just because, you know, and also like really be intentional with what you want, okay, like from the get-go, because yeah, it's a really good book. Okay, so that is The Heat Seekers. What the world? Oh, so these next three, well, actually four, but so these next four books, these aren't necessarily written by Zane. These are more so of like collaborative efforts. So other authors wrote stories in these books, and it was kind of like presented by Zane, edited by Zane, and things like that. So this is the one that I'm actually starting to reread again. Not reread, but it's like I started reading it and then I put it down and I never picked it back up, so I have to start back over. But this is Sexual Healing by Allison Hobbs and Cairo, and it's a, you know, presented by Zane. So I can't really tell you what this is about besides sex. It seems like a typical, you know, you have a woman who is tired of, you know, playing games with men. You got this smooth talking player man who's, you know, trying to smooth talk her, but she ain't having it. Yeah, it seemed like one of them. Okay, so I'll do another video once I actually read this book. But anyway, so now these next ones, child. Okay, these next ones. So this is the one I'm reading now. So this one here is Chocolate Flavor. Okay, let me go through them real quick. And then we have Caramel Flavor, and then we have Honey Flavor. So these are anthologies, okay? Basically, it's a collection of short stories. So these books do not follow one character throughout the entire book. Each chapter is a whole new set of characters, it's a whole new storyline and stuff like that. But they're all dealing with sexual encounters, okay? Whether it's with people who are in relationships, random hookups, and things like that. So the reason why there are different flavors is because, you know, the chocolate flavor is black on black love, black on black sex, whatever you want to call it. So this is dealing with, you know, two black people. And then with honey flavor is dealing with an African American and an Asian person. And then with the caramel flavor is dealing with an African American person and a Latina person. So if you are someone who has, you know, preferences, or you want to read more about certain interracial relationships or same race relationships and stuff like that, and sexual encounters, you know, each book caters to that audience. Okay, so with these, you know, like with the caramel flavor, it's only going to be, you know, African American and the Latino community. With honey flavor, African American, Asian encounters, and then chocolate flavor, black on black on black on black. Okay, so such good books. But let me tell you, and I just made a TikTok about this. Ciao. I was reading this book last night, okay? Because I just got these from Thrift Books. Thrift Books, listen. Thrift Books is good, okay? I haven't ordered from them in a long time, but Thrift Books is so good. Because I was looking for some more Zane books at my local bookstore, because at one point they had all the Zane books, and then after they remodeled, I guess they got real bougie and didn't want no sex books in there. I get it, but also, So I was looking on Thrift Books, and Thrift Books, you get some good quality books for very, very cheap. All of these books, hold on. All three of these books, and then the next book I'm gonna show you, I got from Thrift Books, and they were all under $5. Great condition, okay? Nothing's messed up, like slightly used, barely, like you can't even tell that they've been used. Such good quality. So check out Thrift Books, okay? No, I'm not sponsored. No, they're not paying me. They can if they want to, but they haven't. So I was starting to read this book last night, okay? Just to get a feel for what it was talking about. Baby, when I tell you the dreams I had after reading this book, I'm almost ashamed to admit. Because, baby, and I'm that type of person, you know, especially if it's something very vivid, something very graphic and descriptive, 9 times out of 10, whether it's a TV show, a movie, or a book, if I, you know, engage in it before bed, I'm probably going to have some sort of dream relating to it. Baby, I read like the first, what chapter am I on now? Oh, let's see. I read like the first 5 chapters, okay, because they're like quick reads, so it doesn't take long to read through the book. So I read like through the first 4 or 5 chapters, and baby, I'm blushing. Let me stop talking about it. But child, if you're like me, and if you engage in a book or a TV show or a movie, and you have that memory of it and you dream it, baby, okay. So yeah, but these are some really good books, and you get to, you know, get introduced to new writers and things like that. And this is also the other book that I got from Thrift Books. As you can see, I'm still stuttering from the dreams I had, excuse me. But no, as you can see, amazing quality. This one was like $4, like 4 something, maybe 3 something, like just amazing quality. So this is called Dear G Spot. Now I know you're looking at this and you're like, oh snap, okay, get straight to the point then. It's not what you think. This isn't a book that's talking about a character. Basically, Zane got sent a lot of different emails. She still gets sent a lot of emails. If you follow her on like Facebook, like her page and stuff, she answers a lot of questions still on her Facebook page. So basically, a lot of people would email Zane, you know, different questions and needing advice about various topics relating to love and sex. So she compiled all those and, you know, turned them into a book. So she gives advice, you know, to the emails in a book. So each chapter is about a different topic. So like being single, sexual addiction, masturbation, you know, all different types of things. I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but you know, each chapter is a different topic, and all the questions that her readers and viewers had, she would answer them in that specific chapter. So if you're looking for advice or, you know, a different input or outlook on something, then that's what this is. So yeah, I know you see the title and you're like, okay, now she's just putting it all out there in the title. It's not like that, okay? So, Dear G Spot, and then my last Zane book. I don't have all of her books. There's still so many books that she has out there that I need to read, okay, that I need to get. So, I'm pretty sure Thrift Books will be sending me some more. But this book right here, oh my goodness, I love it. Such a love story. So this is The Other Side of the Pillow. I'm pretty sure in one of my book videos I talked about this book. So this is the tale of, again, kind of like not cliche, but you know, we've seen it before. You have, you know, a broken, battered woman. In this case, it's Chemistry, which I love that name. And she's like a very, you know, well-to-do woman. She's a high school principal. She's making really good money, you know, well-dressed. She carries herself well and things like that. But she's had one too many heartbreaks, child. So one night at like this poetry club and stuff like that, she's on stage reciting this poem that she has. And basically it's dogging men. She's in the point in her relationship and in her life where she feels all men are the same. All men are dogs. You can't trust them. I don't want to be with no more of them. Y'all done played me one too many times. F y'all. That's how she feels, okay? So of course all the men are like, we don't even know you. Like, we didn't even do nothing to you, Miss Mamas, okay? Except for one man, Dr. Tevin, this chocolate thing right here. Oh, here's Chemistry if you want to see her. I'm assuming this will be Chemistry, but yeah, that's her. So basically, you know, he's sitting at the bar and he's listening to her, you know, recite this poem, and he can just sense the hurt in her voice. He can tell that she is just over men, basically. And he's a really good guy, you know, and they both have like their rough past and secrets that they're not proud of, but ultimately they're, you know, good people. Like, she's a good woman, he's a good man, and he wants to settle down. He's not into playing games and stuff like that. So this is the story of seeing, you know, if this good man, and we know he's a good man, so we're rooting for him, but seeing if he can get her to let her guard down, and seeing if she will be willing to get to know him, if she can open her heart up one more time and let true love in and stuff like that. So it's not just an easy breezy cakewalk in the park, okay? Of course there's some drama to stir things up. So that's when we have her best friend Winsome, okay? And you know, kind of like in other books when you have like one moderate, not moderate, but you know, conservative and stuff like that woman who has the polar opposite in her best friend, wild child, free spirit, we, you know, here for a good time, not a long time type of mentality, you know. She is, you know, her best friend, and Chemistry catches, Chemistry catches, I'm saying every character but the person, Winsome and Tevin, in a suspicious looking, compromising situation that can, you know, either that can mess up the relationship or whatever. So it's really, really good. A really good love story. And again, it's like you're rooting for both of them, and you're really rooting for him because you know he's a good guy. Like, they're not perfect, but it's like you're rooting for them, and you're hoping by the end of the book that they, you know, are good. So, but of course, twists and turns, so I'm not going to say whether they're good or not. I don't know. You just have to read it. But such a good book. So the other side of the pillow. So those are all of my Zane books. Hopefully I'll be able to come back with another video introducing more Zane books. But again, this is for my people who, you know, have been seeing me talk about my Zane collection, or not my collection, but my interest in Zane, and maybe want to start reading her books and not know where to start, or just want to get a peek at my collection, you know. So let me know if there's any other book talk videos y'all want me to do. I have so many books. I have literal bookshelves, okay, like everywhere. So we can talk about books all day long, right? And I'm not just, you know, specific to the urban fiction genre, even though it is my favorite, okay? But I read every single thing, so we can talk about books all throughout the day, okay? So I will catch y'all in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Love y'all. Bye.